Hey, I'm Jackson, and I've been asked to share what it means for me to be both a Christian and a software developer. I have three thoughts for you, and maybe these thoughts will be useful as well if you work with software developers. Maybe you're in product management or UX research or marketing and sales for a software business. And my first thought is that software work is very creative work. Even though software isn't physical and tangible, it is still a real part of God's creation that's at our fingertips. So it continues that work that He started in Genesis 1 and 2, where He created a universe out of nothing, put a man and woman in the garden and asked them to work the ground and keep it, and to build something new out of the ground and continue His creative works. And so with software, we've taken silicon out of the ground and put into these silicon chips, very carefully designed and orchestrated software that makes it into something useful for people and for God's kingdom. And so we can praise and thank God for the skills that He's given us, creative skills to build something new. And we can see the things that we're building as something that He is creating with us and through us as well. And so we can give Him glory for the things that we're building. Secondly, software work is a very useful work. Obviously, software is used by people all around the world. And my hope and prayer is that many of us would be working on software that is useful for the people that Jesus particularly asks us to care about, the poor and the marginalized and the sick and the hungry. When He speaks of these people in Matthew 25, He says, "Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." So I hope that as our software is useful for people who are poor and needy and marginalized, that it is useful for Jesus as well through that. With that comes a danger as well, I think. We all set out to build software that's made for good and created for good, but we live in a world that's been damaged by evil. And our software has not escaped that damage from evil as well. And so we should be exercising careful judgment and seeking God's wisdom as well when we're building something new to see how could this be used in the wrong ways and fall into the wrong use cases because of our damaged world. And we should seek to remedy that and work against that as well. Thirdly, in the more day-to-day, software is a very relational work. No one builds software in isolation. All the time we're working with a team of other software developers, a team of product designers, UX researchers, sales, management, and our users themselves. In our conduct with our colleagues and our users, we want to be shining lights for Christ. As Paul says to the Philippian church, we want to be conducting ourselves in a manner that's worthy of the gospel of Christ that we've been called to, so that all of our conduct would be above reproach. And I hope that that mind of Christ influences the way that you speak to your colleagues and resolve disputes with them as well. So those are my thoughts. Software work is a creative work, it's a useful work, and it's a relational work.